Hey guys! So I have less than 2.5 weeks before I do the Disney College program, and I just figured I'm going to give you a little bit of tips and tricks if any of you guys want to do the Disney College program in the future for either fall 2015 and the future. I'm going to give you a bit of my tips and tricks of how to ace that interview and application. So I wrote a lot of notes down. Trust me, I did a lot of research and my personal experience with it. So without further ado, I'm gonna tell you how you can ace the Disney College Program application. So prior to the application, it would be very helpful if you do some sort of research about the Disney College Program, see how it can benefit you and how the Disney College Program actually works. They also have a Disney College Program YouTube channel if you ever want to see what roles that they offer, what benefits you can get, and get a better understanding of how the college program works. Another big tip, also ask your parents if it's okay. There's a couple of you guys who are around 18 or they just graduated high school. So it would be really helpful if you get the verification with your parents saying that I'm okay to send you to Anaheim or Orlando to do the Disney College program. And also see if your college does accept some sort of credit for doing the program. My college does not accept any sort of credit unless I want to do an independent study, but I'm already done with college, so that doesn't really cross my mind. So the way that it works for me, I just graduated in December, and while I'm waiting for my graduation ceremony in May, I'm going to do the Disney College program and then come back to New York to do my walk. So either way, I didn't waste time, so it's something for me to do before my graduation. Another thing, join the Disney College program Facebook. There's one for every single season. I joined the Spring Advantage for 2015, and don't worry if you feel like everything you need to be weirded out because you're the biggest Disney fan. Everyone there is a Disney nerd. That's kind of the reason why you're doing the Disney program, because you all share the same passion of loving Disney. And just never be ashamed. You can find so many people who are going to be like you, and you could easily click with that. And also the Facebook page is really good for any frequent questions, or if you want to meet new roommates, or if you want to make new friends from all different places of the world. I know there's internationals and there's locals and people out of state, so it's a really good way for you to communicate and network. For my Disney College program, all the applications started around, I want to say, August. So I don't know how it's going to work for fall, but I'm presuming it's going to start dropping in May. And my biggest thing is when it drops, make sure you're one of the first people to do it, because my mentality is if you are there in the start, then you have more roles available to you. So let's say your top 3 roles that you want to do is Bippity Boppity Boutique, merchandise, attractions, and I don't know, let's say custodial. And you put in your preference that you don't want to work for fast service or quick service food and beverage. So at least more of the options are open for you, as compared to if you apply later, you are filled in a certain spot where Disney needs to put you. So that's that. So the general application is found on the Disney website. I'm going to link it down below so that way you guys can get a better idea of what it looks like. So during the general application, they're going to ask you what your school is, what's your major, what year you're in, what work experience you've had, extracurriculars, and work experience. That's that. I don't know if this is in general application or if this is web-based interview, but I honestly can't remember, but you also have the option of picking the roles that you want to be in. So I'm going to name a few for you right now. There is quick service food and beverage, fast food food and beverage, custodial, merchandise, lifeguard, Bippity Boppity Boutique, Pirate League, character attendant, character performer, what else? I know there's a couple in hotels, bellhop, vacation planner, mousekeeping. There's a whole bunch that could be available to you. And no, it doesn't have to be relevant to your major, because for example, I'm a psych major and I'm gonna go into Disney as in the entertainment department. So they're two completely different things. But for example, if you're majoring in the arts or photography, you can go for PhotoPass if you want to like click it. And my biggest tip for you guys, only check the boxes that you want to be in, because for example, if you put high interest in everything, and even though you're kind of lying to yourself that you don't want to be in, let's say, 5 things, so let's say your biggest thing, you want to work in attractions, and you end up being in quick service food and beverage or custodial, that's kind of your fault because you said okay to these things. So another thing, once you get your role, that's it. Like, you can't change it unless it's for some sort of disability. So that's that. Once you get your role, that's it. You're gonna get, you can't change your role afterwards. So make sure you only check the boxes that you feel suitable for and it's to your best interest and what you really want to do. There's a lot of people who got into the program and they decided to decline it because they didn't want the role that they checked in. So that's kind of their fault. And yes, Disney can place you in something that you put no interest in whatsoever. But in my honest opinion, if you wanted to do the Disney College program, do it for that and not because of the job reason. I mean, you did the hardest part and you got into the college program. Like 50,000 students apply, only 5,000 get in. So just do it. Maybe you're going to learn to love it. And if you're not experienced in it, it's a learning process. So that's that. And not everyone will, I don't know if everyone will pass the general app, or maybe I'm thinking the WBI. So next up is the web-based interview, aka WBI. So the web-based interview, it takes around 20 minutes to get your email from Disney saying that, oh, you get to do your web-based interview. So they're going to ask you a bunch of situated questions, and they're looking for consistency. So take the time and read each question, and just read it really carefully, because let's say there's a question saying that it's like, let's say yes or no. I'm always on time for work, and you say yes, and then you say it's okay to be late every once in a while, and then you pick a different answer. Disney already sees in their computers that your answers are inconsistent, so make sure that you really like truthfully answer the questions. And it's timed. I forgot to tell you that. I think it's gonna be like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, but take your time, take a deep breath, just read it, and yeah, that's that. Disney can rearrange the questions. I just mentioned that, and basically they'll give you more situational questions, and you would have to have an answer for that. From what I remember, it's from interest 1 to 5, or strongly agree, disagree, or yes or no. That's the questions that they had for that, and that's it. Within like 2 minutes, Disney will tell you if you passed or you didn't pass. And if you didn't pass, then I'm sorry, you would have to try and do it for the next time, because you can only do the application once. That's why I said you have to be really careful when you're reading the questions, because even if you do make another account, they're going to ask you for your social security number, and there's only one social security number that you have. So if you don't get in, then I'm sorry, but you need to try again next time. And it's okay if you didn't get in. Maybe it's just not your time, or you just need more time to research it. So yeah, so once you do pass the web-based interview, you get to choose the date and the time that you want to do your phone interview, and you have like a week-long I think once you do the WBI, you have like a Monday to Sunday schedule in a certain time frame where you could do your interview. So for example, mine was on a Sunday at 1 o'clock. Make sure that you are not doing anything that day, because if you have work or if you have to babysit, you need to have quiet, and you have to make sure that you're calm for the phone interview. So just like clear your schedule for like the next like 3 hours, because Disney could call you within 30 minutes after or before it if they're behind schedule. But just be prepared for that. So the next I'm going to tell you is how to prepare for the phone interview. Sorry, I'm like mixing my words today. So prior to doing your actual interview, set up a whole entire list of questions. Like, I still have mine. Like, I wrote like 6 or 5 pages worth of questions. Like, for example, why do you want to work for Disney? Why do you want to participate in the program? What makes you a good candidate? So you have to answer all those questions. So I made the question over here, and then in the bottom I put my answer. And then just always be prepared. And when you're actually doing the interview, study that like maybe 20, like, you know, as much as possible, post them on your wall. And if the person does ask you the question, you could look at it and be like, oh, okay, yada, yada, yada. But let it flow naturally. So that's my biggest thing. Let's see. Also, make your own responses. Don't copy other people. Like, for example, the question is, why do you want to work for Disney? Your answer is, because I love Disney and I grew up with Disney. Every single person said that answer. So try to be a little bit more, let's see, special, I guess. Like, come up with a more clever answer than that. So yeah, and in the phone interview itself, once they start asking you questions, they're going to give you a lot of situational questions. So let's say, this is the one that I messed up on. I was the only one that I didn't write in my list, so whoopsie me, I really thought I wasn't going to get in for that. So my interviewer said that you're working in recreation and you're loading people onto like the rowboats, and one of the guests doesn't want to wear a life vest. What do you say? I accidentally said that, well, you don't want to drown now, do you? And then it automatically clicked in my head saying like, crap, I can't say that. So I just rearranged it again after, I really said this in the interview. So after I said, well, you don't want to drown now, do you? But your safety is our top priority, so it would be nice, can you please put it on, or else you won't be able to get on the boat. So yeah, if something like that happens to you, calm down, just smile, you're okay. It means a little, it's like getting a shot. It's you get scared, and then once you're done, it's like, oh, that's it. Also, make sure you remember your recruiter's name. I remember my recruiter's name, and her name is Kathy, and she was such a sweet woman. And if Kathy, if you're watching this, you're hella good. Might have not said hella, but you're awesome. Yes. Oh, so when the person actually calls you, it could either say private number or it's going to say a number from Florida. So when you pick up the phone, make sure you say, oh, good morning, this is blah, 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 speaking, how are you? And then when she says her name, make sure you write it down. So just remember that. It's always nice when you come prepared, when you say, hi, this is Denise, good morning, this is Denise speaking, how can I help you? And then it's like, hi, my name is Kathy from the Disney College Program Recruiting Department, yada, yada, yada. So my thing is just, it's okay to be scared, because I remember I told my recruiter that when she said, how are you feeling? And I was like, oh, I'm fine. I'm a little bit nervous, but, you know, she said she made me feel really comfortable, which is really good. She was such a nice interviewer, I'll tell you that. You know, even if you do mess up, just keep on having that positive vibe during your interview. It's okay to mess up, and it's okay if you say a couple of but make sure it's not to a point where all the interviewer hears is well, yada, yada, yada. So once you're done with all the questions, the interviewer is going to ask, is there any questions that you would like to ask? Don't just hang up or just say, no, I have no questions, and then just hang up. Always ask questions to your interviewer. You know, it could be to the Disney College Program or to her personal experience. For me, I asked her 2 questions. For other people, it could be 1. I mean, one thing you can ask your interviewer is like, oh, did you ever do the college program? Or why did you choose to work for Disney? You know, it's engaged into your interviewer, and it's okay to laugh and to make jokes, but make sure that your jokes are PG-13, because I think they want to see a sense of maturity. And lastly, once you're done, you know, when your interviewer says like, oh, okay, you know, it's almost, I'm like babbling at this point. Thank your interviewer for her time or his time, and yeah, the worst is over. The phone interview is basically the worst process as it is, because if you are in the Disney page, they're giving you tips and tricks, and then you get overwhelmed with the amount of information that you have to remember and say. But that's it. You did your job. I mean, it's good. So the worst, not the worst, but the most thing that everyone hates is the waiting game. So for me, for example, I applied the very first day that that applications dropped. And I waited 2 months in order to get my acceptance letter. And I know it's gonna be harsh. There's gonna be some people who's gonna get accepted earlier than you. There's gonna be a couple of people who's gonna get rejected later. So even, it's gonna sound harsh and say, why didn't Disney just decline me rather than just do it later because it hurts more. But it is what it is. Disney did what they could, and maybe it's just not for you right now. Maybe you just need more time to research and mature and, gain some sort of responsibility for yourself in order for you to be ready for the college program. Oh, and another thing, I did the the dance auditions in New York City. So if you do want to do if you want to do the character performer auditions, I suggest to you people is be there on time. It'd be good to go with a friend. Unfortunately, you cannot, if you bring a parent or an adult, they cannot go inside with you in the audition. And it takes around 3 hours. Make sure you had a good night's sleep. You had a good breakfast. Come prepared, come stretched. What else? It's pretty cutthroat, I guess you can say, in the auditions, but they look for the best for the best. You can be wide, you can be short, you can be tall, you can be it could be anything. They're looking for a whole bunch of characters. So that's character performer, face characters, fur characters, parade performers. It's a whole bunch. So if you think that, oh, just because I'm not this, this, and this, then I can't do the auditions. The auditions are really good. I mean, you're gonna have a blast. You're gonna feel nervous, but you're gonna be with a whole bunch of people who share the same passion as you. And that's the greatest thing that you could ever experience. So with that along, sorry I keep on babbling. That's the end of my tips and tricks. If you have any more information about the Disney College program or the interview process or the application process, feel free to comment below. I'm always here to help you guys. So this video is really long. I really apologize, but I try to do my best for you so that way you can ace that application. So I'm going to start packing, and I will maybe make a packing video of what I'm going to do or what I'm going to bring. So yeah, so for now, adieu my lovely DCP people and my lovely subscribers. It was nice seeing you. So bye guys. Mwah. See you guys in Disney.